Last year, I showed you the 2023 Acura TLX Type S, and I was only able to talk about the upcoming changes. Today, I have the 2024 Acura TLX Type S, and I now get to show you these changes in real time. So today, we're gonna take a look at just the changes for the 24 model year and see if it's worth the upgrade. So before we get started, let me tell you about the specs in case this is your first video on the TLX you're seeing from us. We have a 3-liter twin scroll turbo V6 engine that's gonna give us 355 horsepower, 354 pound-feet of torque. Now we're also paired here with a 10-speed automatic transmission, and this comes with Acura's SH all-wheel drive. So now we're taking a look at the front end because that is where the most of the exterior changes have happened. Side is the same, back is the same, although you can now option a carbon fiber rear diffuser, which will look nice, but I don't have it, so I can't show it to you. So let's talk about what's happened in the front. You can see that now we have a frameless front grille. It looks a little bit smaller. We also have these really sharp edges on the front. It looks very nice and very deliberate, and it's also really sporty. Next thing you'll see, if you look at our B-roll from last year, the front of the Acura logo had kind of like a film over it. It was kind of to help hide the sensors and the parking camera and stuff like that. Now it is all in one piece inside the Acura logo, and it looks so much better. We still do get our really nice daytime running LEDs. It still looks as sporty as last year. I just think it's a slight improvement, and I mean, you can be the judge of it. Tell me what you think right now in the comments. I want to know. Front end from 24 or front end from 23, what do you think? So next up on the big change list for the TLX 2024 is on the interior. Here, a lot of stuff is the same, but some of the key points that maybe feel like the TLX was a little bit dated last year have been improved. So this is really good. So let's talk about what stays the same. The seats are all the same, comfort's the same, all that stuff is the same. The dash kind of design is the same. HVAC controls stay the exact same, as well as the gauge cluster. Steering wheel, although fantastic, stays the exact same. So now the changes are mainly my digital gauge cluster. It's fully digital. Reminds me of the one that we saw on the Integra Type S. I can see my speed, different stuff like that. It also can change. I've got different themes. Basically, it just looks a lot less dated, but there is some people that are still going to prefer the old analog and, you know, digital mix. And if you do, the 2023 might save you a couple of bucks, but personally, I'm going with the fully digital. I think it looks very nice. If you've seen the one that I showed you on the MDX last year, it's the same one as that one as well. All of them look very familiar, but it's just nice to see it here. Now moving over from our gauge cluster, we have the same looking infotainment screen, but it is bigger. To be specific, it is now 12.3 inches in size, and they also have improved the processing power. So your touchpad, you know, you still got the touchpad to navigate with, which is a whole other problem in itself. Wish they took it away, wish they gave me a knob. I am not a fan of the trackpad, even knowing it does work well, but it is a lot snappier, the infotainment system, and the trackpad responsiveness is a little bit better as well because of that processing power, so good to see as well. Now we have wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto that is coming standard. Over in the rear, I now have 2 USB-C ports, which is going to be nice. My tester this week doesn't have it, but you can also get a digital heads-up display here in the dash. I haven't used it, but I know it is an option. Now, some other smaller finite details for the interior is now we do have thicker glass all around. We have thicker carpets as well. And also, I even noticed the doors feel a little bit more like heavy and dense, and that's all to help sound deadening, all to help noise isolation. There is still some road noise. They haven't completely removed it, but it is better. I've driven the TLX 2023 pretty recently, so I can tell you that that part is a lot better. The noise isolation doesn't sound that bad, but you'll see it when we take it for a drive. So let's do that right now. All right, so time to get this thing out on the road. Forgot to mention before that I do have a 360-degree camera system, which is very useful, front, back, and then the 2 sides, as well as an overhead view, which I think is like the quality looks improved from last year. I don't remember if we actually had a full 360, but anyways, the camera qualities are much better as well. I don't know if that's actually something improved or it's just my head, but I think it looks very nice now this year, so also good to have. And yeah, it's just been a really, really good week so far. I feel like just near the end of my time with the 2023 TLX is when I really, really started to like get a feel for it and really, really started to appreciate it for what it was, because I had driven the Integra Type S like a little bit earlier. So kind of when I went to the TLX, it was like less horsepower, less everything. So it was like, now I haven't driven the Integra in a long time. And so I'm just kind of getting the TLX full blown, you know, for what it is. And I really, really think I'm appreciating it a lot more than I was last year. But also I think it looks way better than last year. Usually white cars don't film too well, but this one, I don't know, this one I feel like looks pretty decent on camera. And I mean, it's just cool. Like it just looks cool. Like the body lines look pretty good in the white actually, and like the red brake calipers come out very nicely. So I do like it quite a bit, you know. I do like the design here, and I'm such a fan of this steering wheel. Like obviously, like I thought the Honda Civic Touring's handling was incredible, right? So obviously I think that Acura is a step above, leaps and bounds above, and it's just like I think I could put this vehicle wherever I want it, and it's just so cool and nice to be able to drive something like that. So I do have a couple of drive modes. I got sport mode, which is usually what I'm driving in. It kind of opens the valves up a little bit, and then if I hold my dial to the right a little bit more, I'll get into Sport Plus, which is where the fun can really start to happen. And then I can also click the S button on my thing to, I guess, put the whole car in complete sport mode. So let's give it some beams here. Oh boy, that's fast. Woo! Yeah, we're gonna be careful right now not to get a ticket, because that is addicting and fun, and the all-wheel drive system really allows this thing to take off. I also have a little thing that says my peak PSI and my boost when I start pushing the throttle fully in. So yeah, challenge not going to jail is started. And very hard to keep by, but look, it's, you know, and that's the cool thing about the duality of a car like this. So like I can have sport mode, you know, the suspension, the ride will be a little bit difficult, a little bit weird, but then I can also just put it back into comfort mode, and like the adaptive dampers are there, like, and it just becomes a really, really comfortable ride, a super comfortable sedan. Like, you know, now that I have a baby and stuff, like I kind of look at that stuff a lot more, because I don't want to like be throwing her neck around and so she's in her car seat. So naturally I look at that stuff more. So like when I'm by myself, I can put it in sport mode, rip around town, you know, be a nuisance. And then when she's in the car, I can go comfort mode, and I can just I'm nice and quiet. I'm nice. My suspension is nice and soft. It feels luxurious, the adaptive suspension in here. And I think that's so cool. I also do have some paddle shifters, so I can kind of shift out here, shift up. It's just like, and the handling is so good. SH all-wheel drive stands for super handling all-wheel drive, and super handling it definitely has. So I like that a lot. Like I just like being able to downshift and then give some gas. Woo! When you do that, you kind of get some pops out of the exhaust. That's really cool. And then like, look, so now I'm done doing that. I'm done messing around. I'm actually going to go into individual mode, where I have the engine in normal, the suspension in comfort, and then the sport, and then the steering in sport mode. So I'm nice and comfortable right here, no problem. And it's just like, I love vehicles that can do this. I love having that option to be like, you know what, I'm going to be annoying. Pop that thing in, rip my neck out. There we go. Boom, done. I've had my fun. Now I'm going to go back to being a law-abiding citizen. And that's, you know, that's really cool. It just can't get enough of it. And like I said, steering wheel, fantastic. I've also got adaptive cruise control in here. I've got lane centering assist, which is very strong. I'm got heated and ventilated seats. Like I don't have anything that's going to massage me or anything like that, but honestly, the seats are comfortable enough that I've, you know, been in this car quite long. Actually, I was stuck in quite a bit of traffic last night, and you know, at the end of it, my back started to feel like, ooh, I could use maybe an adjust for the lumbar support, but that's it. Like I'm able to adjust the lumbar here, so it, like, you know, it was just a matter of adjusting that, and then I felt better. But yeah, really good. Also, let's see, fuel economy, 11.2 liters per 100 kilometers. I've probably done about 300 or 250 kilometers by this point, not that much. So yeah, which one do I prefer? TLX 23 or TLX 24? And I have to go with 24. I think the changes are just enough to make it, like, I think worth it in terms of purchase. I think the sportiness really looks way nicer. It looks a little bit less outdated interior wise. Everything looks more clean here, you know, with the bigger infotainment, the digital gauge cluster. Those things are important to me. Those things are something I look at, especially when, like, you know, I want to be able to like look back at my car and be like, ooh, not that I couldn't do that with 2023. I just feel like the 2024 takes it to a bit of another level, and all they have to do is change the front end and you got me. So, but I mean, I think though, if you could only afford the 2023, there's no way you're going to be disappointed, because you still get this excellent handling, you still get this excellent driving, and whether you go 23 or 24, you still get that Honda Acura kind of excellence in reliability. So that's also a huge deal as well, right? Like, pretty sure Acura has the same reliability as Honda's, so that's going to be helpful to a lot of people as well. But me, I'm a 24 TLX type of guy now. I think it's awesome, and you know, it's something that's grown on me. It reminds me a lot of the Kia Stinger. People will hate me for saying that, but that's what it reminds me of. But in between the two, it's close. That battle is close. I might be more leaning towards the Acura nowadays than maybe the Stinger, although the Stinger is a better value for around the same type of speed and same type of control and stuff. But I know people don't like when I say that, but that's the opinion. That's where it is. That's literally what I think. But yeah, what a great buy it is. Is it missing a manual transmission? Sure, you could say that, but I don't think it's like a negative point to it. I just think, like, obviously all cars might be more fun with manual, especially if you're an enthusiast and you like doing that. But if you do like that, you got the Integra Type S for that. So Acura's literally got you covered. And I'm so proud of the fact that they didn't just shove an EV in our face. And you know, they actually refreshed a very solid platform already, a very solid chassis, everything. They just kind of bumped it up a little bit, made it slightly more modern, and boom. So we don't get more SUVs. I love the fact that they're still doing sporty sedans, because they are going away. The market is going so SUV and EV SUV that, like, it's starting to get a little bit boring with all this stuff, you know, like, but Acura is keeping it fun. So I like that. And shout out to Acura for doing that. Thank you so much. It's been wonderful to drive. So there you go. There's the changes for 24. There's the driving for 24. I'm going to leave it right there. I'm not going to make this crazy long, because you know, we did this car about 3 or 4 times already, so you can tell we like it. We do this car that many times. It is a solid platform. You can go out and drive it yourself, and you'll see exactly what we're talking about. Make sure that you're subscribed here on PRN. Make sure you put on that bell notification, because YouTube is absolute trash at telling you when we upload a new vehicle. And we have new press cars every week. We have 3 new press cars every single week. So you don't want to miss any of it, and you want to be on the top of the list. So you want to make sure that your bell notifications are on, so that YouTube actually knows you're interested. And that's how you can keep up with us on the weekly and on the daily sometimes. So there you go. With that being said, I'm going to leave it here. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Let me know what you think in the comments. And with that being said, I will see you in the next week. See you in the next car. Take care.